Hi there, hope you're doing good. This is Sajid and I'm here again with another Google Sheet workflow automation. And I think this is the third video of this demo as we have some amendments, some modifications you requested. And let me apologize for the delay as I think I did record the video, but I missed that. I thought I have uploaded it and shared the link with you, but I think I missed it. So I'm recording this again and let me try describing things one more time, and this will be a record as well so that you can use this video to use this file later in future. All right, so as you mentioned that we are going to use the uh okay, we are not showing the API. Okay, so as you already mentioned that we are going to use the same login password for the API to pull the data for all the hotels, and you want to have some control so that you can set different time for different hotel pulling information pulling and pulling in the data and saving it into the Google Sheet, Google Drive, and the in the relevant folders. I did not have the access for all of these folders which I am just showing on my screen, but I have the access for only the one folder which is at the top for the Alicon. So what I did, I have copy pasted the link, the folder ID for the Victoria on this cell, and I'm using the same folder for the Alicon so that we can save the same file for the Victoria and Alicon on the same. But if as you have the access for all the folders of all the folders, you can always use this. So I'll be just testing these two. You can always test any. I'll show you. Those are going to show the errors, but I'll show you those two as well. So I have added this functionality, and we have added another functionality that is showing that all the dates, arrival and the departure dates are same. So you can always delete those. I'm just using the first two dates, and I'm considering that we are going to take the from 8th of the January to 31st of the December 2023 this year. So it's going to API is going to pull the data, and I made some changes in the system as well. So now initially what we were doing, we were pulling in all the data from the API, and we were saving it in a document, and then we were filtering it for the required column as per your given criteria that you want these columns in the same sequence order as well. So I have used the same format. So for example, in case if you want to add any further column in future, you can always add that column in here, and this is going to take the listing automatically. Like this is a dynamic link as well. So the app script or the code I'm using on the backend is going to take this listing of the folders. And if you will make any changes in here, those will get affected automatically as well. So you don't need to ask for any modifications or anything. You can always change the sequence of the headers or maybe add further columns in here. So this is 100% completely dynamic. Um, okay, so this is being evaluated as well. Okay, so we pull all the data, maybe 300 columns. I don't know. So there was more than 70 columns, but we need only 30 columns, maybe 29 to 30 columns. So we are filtering the data. So what we are doing, we are not saving the whole data. We are just taking the data in within the code part. We are manipulating all the data and pasting the results directly in this sheet. This sheet is showing the last pull data, filtered data according to this column sequence. You can always see this one. The first one is the reservation ID, reference number, status, and the last one is hotel number. So on Elican, you can see status, last name, and on the last most there will be hotel name, and there are 29 items you can see at the right bottom, extreme right bottom. Similarly for the Victoria, you can see the reservation ID, reference number, status, last name, and on the extreme you will see the hotel name, and there are 29 columns as well. So if you will add any further columns in the bottom, those will get affected automatically. You don't need to worry about those things as well. All right, so now that's done. Okay, I'm going to allow the only these two, though I can allow these as well, but I know as you know that I don't have the access to these folders. I cannot run those, but you will be able to see the for the Victoria and Alicon as well. There is another thing. For example, if I delete the Victoria, like for as a start, as a beginning, you don't have any format or uh any of the like if there are 17 total hotels, but if we have only one sheet available, this system is going to automatically generate this sheet if those are not available. All right, and you can always select which one you want to keep pulling in the data on the daily basis, or maybe you want to deactivate it. So this is basically an active or deactivation thing. These are the two buttons which you can always use to pull to put the data, and this is for the setting triggers and resetting trigger for the hotels. Why this button is here? I'll explain it. So you have asked me to keep to have other functionality so that you can set different time for different hotels to pull the data in. So I have given you the functionality in here, and this time will be depending on the system time base. So this file is in currently in my time zone. So in +5, you need to, once you will be making the copy, like you'll become the owner of the file, you need to change the time zone. So whatever your time zone is here, you just need to select that. Once done, then you need to clear all the triggers, though I am not setting any triggers, but you have to clear those. And then you need to jump into the each hotel and select a time. I have given you the timestamp in a way that it's starting from 12 a.m. and ending at 11 p.m. every hour time. And I have formatted in a way that if you will select a time in the morning, that will become lighter. And as the time goes in the PM part or the dark night part, that will get darker as well, so that you can easily recognize, okay, this is the later night part. These tool are going to update. So currently my time is 2:42 a.m. Um, and I want to show you the demo in here. So what I need to do, I need to select around 2 a.m. so that this can work for me. So I'll select 2 a.m. here, and I'll select 2 a.m. So that I can at least run these two. So consider it that you have set a trigger for the 2 a.m. and this is currently it's around 2 a.m. Maybe I have to, after 10 to 15 minutes, I need to change it to 3 a.m. if we are testing it. The last run was on the 13th of April at 21:48:25. I'll delete that time. Maybe you can always keep that. Please do not delete anything else which is not in yellow cell. Please do not delete. These are all formulas which need to get the files in, because if you are setting a trigger for this row, it had to find out which row is it. So please do not delete anything. We will clear everything once we are done with everything. This is the time drop down which we are pulling in here. I'll hide that in the latter part. These are the tasks done. I was tracking that what I have done, but I think I lost it because there were so many modifications and functionality additions were there. So I have lost the track to do that. But yes, I think we have I have done one more task which is also pending from your side. Okay, we will discuss about that. Okay, so this all is done. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to, okay, I'll open this folder which is 1YVM, whatever the folder ID is there. This is the folder, and here you can see it's generating the uh, the 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 Alicon PMS files. So this is for 14, 13, 4, 13, 4. This is for 14th 4 April. This is 15th April, 15th April, 16th April, 16th, 17th April. All of these time, I'll delete all of these. So you can see the system is currently working and it's pulling the data for Alicon and Victoria both. So I'll delete all my times. Let me delete. Maybe you have already, I think you have already this 04/17/24 Alicon PMS XLS. I don't know. Okay, let's keep it. So today, currently my time is 18th, so there will not be any 18th Helicon. Yes, we do not have any 04/18th. So once I'll update the sheet, I'll press this button. This should show this should update the data in this one. Let me clear this data as well, just to show you. So I'll clear everything from here and I'll come in here. As you can see, Victoria is not here, and we have two activations, Alicon and Victoria. The API is going to use the same password, this dates, which is in the range, which is right. We are in 2023, around 2 a.m. This will run. So you can consider it that this is running it automatically. I'll click on it, generate today's PMS files. It's going to check and verify all the information is available. You have activated it. The time, trigger time is the time when it should run. As you can see, this got cleared automatically. Now the second one got cleared, and in the Victoria, now you can see the data shortly. The process has been completed. Alicon data, you can see everything is available now. And for the Victoria, we also have the same exact format. Now we will go back to the controls, and here you can see this is the time the last files got updated. All right. And both of the files should be saved in the same folder, which is this one. If I'll jump into that folder, let me select by last modified. So you can see here the latest time, which is 2:45, which is my current time. It has just generated these two files. Let me open this Victoria and let's open the Helicon as well. So you can see this is the exact Victoria file, which is in the correct format, time format. So we are using a word Helicon before PMS as a as a prefix, which we are doing here. So these are the prefix which will be used in the file names. So if we are running any of these hotels in this date is dynamically updating automatically in the file name based on your time zone. Obviously, once you'll download, and as I showed that in the setting, you need to set this time zone as per your time zone. All right. So this all is done. Let me show you. So there are 29 hotels starting from reservation ID and ending at hotel name. We have 146 entries available in this data. Similarly, for the Victoria, the tab name is Victoria, 18/4, 2024, Victoria PMS, reservation ID, reference number, last column is hotel name, and the total number of columns is 29. We have entries available 333. All right, so we can close both of these documents and every day. Okay, now I haven't set the trigger. Once you will start set the trigger, you can do by clicking on this reset triggers. For example, if you make a change in the time, okay, I don't want to run this at 2 a.m. I want to run it every 3 a.m. It's going to check once you make a change in the timestamp, you need to reset the trigger. So what it's going to do, it's going to delete all the old triggers and set new triggers. So for example, if you have set a trigger to 3 a.m. and you delete all the triggers for all of these, those will not get set up. If you make any change in the time, you need to reset the trigger so that all of the time will get up, it should get updated in the trigger, and it will pop you up as well. So let me set the triggers. So if I'll click on it, it's going to show me, yes, all these triggers are being set. All right, there is an issue. Okay, no problem. I'll fix that. All right, so the last bit for the reset trigger, let me click on it, and you can see this time is also going to update so that you can see what time was last you updated the trigger. So currently it was 12th April, 5:33:51 a.m. Let's see, once it's complete, this will give you a pop-up as well. And it's, yes, you can see it's updated to 2:50 a.m. and successfully set all new triggers. So that is it. I hope that's it all. That's all from our side. I think this we have already done. Reservation ID cancellation. Yes, we have already done that. If there will be any removal of the uh, like if there is any cancellation, the reservation will not get filtered in. Hotel IDs are being made. Arrival dates are being mentioned for each and every hotel. Departure date as well. Daily trigger set for each hotel is also set. We can always clear these. File name format was already set and agreed, and I have built those. Added the builds, and yes, for the more hotels, you can always add more hotels in it. So buttons, yes, buttons are there. You can always add more hotels. You have the control for the columns as given, added in data API. Um, all right. I think we have covered everything on this side. Yep, for this part, yeah, we have to discuss the first part. I think there was another task. I don't remember the exact file, but there was another file. You remember that. You have the record of that. All right. So once there will be more records or maybe more hotels below, let me add few. You can see the date will get updated. The time obviously will get updated as well. So for example, if you have maybe any other text in here to put it in front of the PMS time, you can always do that. So you just need to make the changes in the yellow cell. That is it. You don't need to make any changes in any of the cells which is not being used. Let me, yes. And please do not make any changes in any of the other cells. All right, so I think this is complete from my side. And once there will be more hotels, why not, let's add few hotels and let's see if those are not going to, those are going to pull the data in here, but those are not going to save as I don't have the access to those of the folders. So, but let's try. As you can see, incomplete information is available because the problem here is that 2:53. Yes, we don't have the exact time. Currently, it's not 3 a.m. So let me select 3 a.m. This is a half. This is 1 hour ish, a gap. Like you can have a window of 1 hour. So once it's 3 a.m., I can use the 3 a.m. trigger till 4 a.m. just before 1 minute before 4 a.m. Okay, so I'm going to run this again, and now I have selected few more hotels. Let's see how it works. All right, let me set the triggers for these as well. I want to keep the 3 a.m. thing, and let's run one more time. Again, I think we don't have the access of these folders. This is why it's not showing the data. Yes, I am doing it wrong. It's 2:54 and I'm trying to run this. I have to keep it 2 a.m. so that it will consider that this is the time of the trigger. And now I can it and this should work. That was my bad. So these drop downs are basically for the setting the trigger, not for manual running. But if I want to run everything, I need to set the time for this hour, which whatever the hour is currently, and then I can run it. You can see it's adding more hotel tabs automatically. So the next one is Adore. The next one is Amnesty Hotel. And the next one is Blue Avenue Resort. The task is completed. You will see the data shortly in here. And these files should be available in the folder as well. Maybe I need to refresh the folder. Yes, the Blue Avenue, Amnest, Amnerts, Adore, Victoria, and Helicon, these are being reported again. This is the time currently 2:55 am as I mentioned. And again, let me show you quickly that this time should be 2 a.m. around so that I can run it. So once you will receive the file and you might want to run the system and make sure that it is generating the files. You have to make all the folders same. Like you have to make the hours whatever your time is that at that time at that moment. Like for example, if it's 3 a.m., you have to select all 3 a.m. and then run it. Otherwise, it's not going to work. All right, let me um, pull back all of these folders and I'll update those back by going back in the time. Okay, so that is it. That is all from my side. I hope it was detailed enough and you have the idea. And this is the file which I have already shared with you, and you can always test it as well. As you have the access of all of these folder, you don't need to change the folder name. So I'll revert back these IDs as per the previous list. And yep, looking forward for your response. I think okay, yeah. So once you will set the trigger and activate the triggers, then you just need to sit back and relax. And every time, every day, at the given time, it's going to use that folder. Go to that API, take the data in, filter those out according to this listing. And as I showed you the many of the hotels, let me quickly show you the last we generated. So this is reservation ID. This is exactly the same file which we have already available in this Blue Avenue. So this is the data which will be getting saved as another Google Sheet in the relevant folders, which we have mentioned in this table. Okay. Okay. Please do let me know if I miss anything or you need any further clarification. Looking forward for your response. Have a nice day ahead. Take care. Bye.